is a usage of final keyword in Java. So final keyword can be used in three different ways here. So one is variable level, you can say. The first level is variable level, you can say. Variable level. And second one is method level, you can say. Method level. Method level. And third one, you can say that class level. So we'll discuss one by one here. So variable level, if you are writing, suppose I am writing int of some x equal to 0. So I am declaring one variable or one data member here, int x equal to 0 or int x equal to some value I am assigning, some int x equal to 10 value I am assigning here. If I write final keyword in before this integer, before this data member, if I write the final keyword here, what is the major changes is going to happen here? If I'm trying to allocate the value or something, if I'm trying to do some operation, x equal to some x plus 1 operation I'm trying to do. So this statement will throw you an error. Before at compile time only, this statement will throw you an error here. Why it will throw an error here? This statement will not be valid here. Why this will be thrown an error here? Because you made one variable value as final. Final means you are making this value as a constant in your program. So during your program execution, once you declare any final variable, you cannot able to change that variable value here. In the next line itself, you are trying to do x equal to x plus 1 operation here. That means you are trying to increment the value by 1. 10 x equal to 10 plus 1 here. The value is becoming 11 here. So what you have done, you already declared x as a final variable here. So whatever the final variables of Java is known as constants here. So you made this value as a constant here. So once you make one value as a constant by using the final keyword, you cannot be able to change your entire program. So once you make any of the variable of Java by writing the final keyword in front of that variable, if you making as a final variable, then you cannot change that value during your program execution. So whether it is runtime or whether it is compile time, you cannot be able to modify the value. So this is what happens whenever you try to write any of the mathematical constants. You will go for the final keyword here. Suppose my mathematical constant pi is the mathematical constant. Pi is to calculate the value of circular area of the circle. So what is the formula for to calculate the area of the circle here? Pi into r into r. Pi r square is a formula. Where your r is the radius and pi is a constant value. Pi, what is the value of pi here? 3.14. Yeah, 3.14 f here. F means float here. So pi value made it as constant. So whenever you are declaring any mathematical constants, for that purpose, whenever you are declaring mathematical constants or constant values inside your Java program, you will going for the final keyword here. Once you write any of the value as final, once you make it as any of the value as final, during your program execution or compile time or at runtime, you cannot be able to modify the values. Okay, this is the importance of the final keyword at variable level. So pi r square is the area of the circle which we are calculating here. Pi is a mathematical constant. 3.14 is the value here. So that is the reason I declared pi final float pi equal to 3.14 I declared here. So this is about final keyword at variable level. So what happens if I write at method level? So suppose I am using inside my class, I am having some method here, public void, something one method is there, public void. Suppose I can say some printed demo method is there or something like some demo. Okay, I'm trying to calculate two values. I'm trying to calculate summation of two values or summation of the values here. So I'm writing one method here. This is my method body here. So what I'm trying to do here, I have written some block of code here. Some block of code I have written inside the method. Okay, some block of code I have written inside this method. So all of a sudden what I'm trying to do here, I am simply written as final here. All of a sudden I have written final here. So if you write final in front of any of the method, that method is not going to participate in the concept of method overloading. Sorry, method overriding, not overloading.
ID, huh?
Yeah, method overriding. So that method is not going to participate. It is not participating in the concept of which concept it is not participating. So
Override, method override.
method overriding. So what do you mean by method overriding here? Method overriding is here. Your method header will be the same. The method header will be the same, and body of the method will be changed here. So once you make it as final, your method body will become also that is also becomes final here. You cannot change or modify this definition of your method here. So your method body you cannot change it. So once you make any of the method as final, so that method is not going to participate in the concept of method overriding here. So that means such methods are not going to participating in the concept of inheritance also you can see. Method overriding where you will implement in the inheritance uh, relationship of Java only you will use this method overriding concept. So if the method is made as final means that method is not going to participate in the method overriding. Yeah, method overriding means method header will be the same and body of the method will be changing here. Once you made it as final, so you cannot modify this method body, you cannot modify it here because you made it that method body is final. This is about your final keyword at method level. So next we will go for the class level here. So whenever you make any of the class as final here, suppose I am having class A here. Okay, I have class A. I have written some data members and methods here. Suppose int x comma y is my data members here. Okay, int x comma y I just declare data members, and then afterwards I am writing some methods here. Okay, public void something some demo. Okay, so some demo method I have written. So some body I have written here. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm making my class definition as final here. What I'm writing? By writing the final keyword, I made my class definition as final here. Final class A. Simply I made it as final here. So once you make it as your class as final here, then afterwards what I'm trying to do, still I am trying to class B I have created here, and class B is extending the properties of extends class A I am written here. So is this statement is going to throw an error or is it a valid statement? B extends A means.
Mm,
So
it will throw error, right? Because class.
this statements will throw an error here because your class definition you made it as final. So you cannot use this class as for inheritance purpose. You cannot use this because you made this class definition as final here. So whatever the methods are there, whatever the things we have defined here, that is made it as final here. So you cannot use these methods. So if you want to utilize these methods, if you want to call these methods, you can call inside this class, but you cannot override these methods, and if this class is not going to participate in the concept of inheritance here because you made this class definition as final here. So if any of the Java classes made it as final, their definition is made it as final means such classes are not going to participate in the concept of inheritance here. So this is all about your various levels of final keyword here. If you make any variable as final, what happens? You cannot change the value. And if you make any of the method in your Java programming, if you make it as final by writing the final keyword in front of that method, then that method is not going to participate in the concept of method overriding. So if you're making any of the class as final by writing the final keyword in front of that class, so that classes are not going to participate in the concept of inheritance here. So this particular statement will throw you an error here. Okay. So this is what about your final keyword at class level, method level, and variable level. So if you want, we'll see one real-time example also for this.